Can we just start by asking you about team news? First of all, how is Leandro Trossard and his tight hamstring? Do you think he might be available for Sunday?
Well, he's trained today, so that's good news for us. We'll see how he reacts to that. But there was no injury. It was more, I would say, more fatigue and precaution based on the tight turnaround of the games. So we're hopeful that he'll be available.
And we've just found out that Southampton's game against Newcastle is off on Sunday due to COVID issues. How is the situation in your camp?
Yeah, touch wood, fine, no problems. So we're okay. And yeah, a couple of guys have obviously benefited from more training after being away for our own issues. So at the moment we're in a good place.
Oh, that's good news. Can I ask you about Aaron Connolly? There's been some talk and some reports that he may be on the move during the January transfer window to the Championship. Is that a good move for all parties, Graham?
I think it is, yeah. I mean, nothing to confirm yet, but I think that's the intention. And I think Aaron's at a stage where he needs to play. He needs to play football. And obviously, if we can find the right fit, I think that will work for him and for us.
And do you think he'll come back a better player, and he would have learned from those experiences?
Well, that's the hope. That's the idea. I think that there comes a point, like I said, when you need to play. You need to let football do the talking, and then we see from there.
In past windows, Graham, the club have very much had one eye on the future. They've made some really shrewd signings. You look at the likes of Jakob Moder, Alexis McAllister, who've come into the first team squad, young talents. One name that's been mentioned has been Kasper Kozlowski, a young Poland midfielder. He sort of fits that category. Can you tell us anything about him and anything regarding the links to the club?
Well, there's nothing to confirm, Elliot, but I think he's a type of player that would be interested in, but nothing to confirm. I think we're always looking for players that can help us that in the now, but also in the future as well, and you've got to find that right balance. The club have done it well, I think, so far, and we'll continue to do that.
And what's the situation regarding Afcon and Mali and Yves Bissouma, Graham? As far as the club are concerned, is he scheduled to go to the Africa Cup of Nations?
Yeah, I mean, if selected, and he's due to go. So it goes with, of course, our blessing, and hope he does well, and good luck to them.
How much of a loss is it going to be for Brighton in the games, obviously, that he's going to miss for the club? Because he was absolutely exceptional the other night, wasn't he, at Chelsea?
Yeah, he was. I mean, he played well. He's part of a really good team performance. But I think playing for your country is a fantastic thing, and we support our players in that. So it is what it is. You have to just adapt. We know that, but we wish him well, because it's an important tournament and it's an important occasion for him and his family.
Just a question on the Everton game, Graham. You've got a tremendous away record. You've only lost one game away from home in the Premier League this season, which is brilliant. What do you put that down to?
I've not really thought about it, Elliot. Normally, I'm answering questions from statistics that aren't so positive, so it's a surprise that I'm getting a positive statistical question, and it's normally about how often we haven't won or we haven't scored, this and that. So I haven't given it massive thought. I think it's as a team we've been resilient. I think we've been together. We've had some quality. I think our travelling supporters away have really helped us. They've been fantastic. So combination of everything. Bit of luck, of course. You need that. We need to play well again and have that same togetherness, the same resilience at Goodison Park. I think it's a tough place to go. They're fighting for the points. We met them early in the season. They deservedly won. We didn't play well. So we need to do better.
Thanks very much, Graham.
No worries, Elliot.
Hi, Graham. Good to see you.
Hi, how you doing?
Yes, good, thank you. Forgive me, I'll be the one to throw in the slightly different statistic.
No problem. I'm used to it.
Brighton never having won at Goodison. I mean, do you pay any attention to stats like that as a manager?
No, in the short, no, not really. The past is the past, and it is what it is. You can't do anything about it now. But there's always there's always the next day. There's always a new opportunity, and that's how you look at it, I think. Otherwise, you'd never progress anything.
Well, talking about the present then, Neil Mope says that you have a lot of momentum going into this match after the last 2 games. Would you agree with that?
Well, we've had 4 points. We've had 2 good performances off the back of a frustrating run for us where, it was well documented, the lack of wins, but we kept picking up points and performances were good during that period. So to come through that and then to get the win and then to perform well against Chelsea gives us confidence, gives us momentum, but it's the same thing, like I say, you've got to start again, you've got to go to Goodison Park, you've got to earn the right to play again, you've got to do all those things, so that's where we're at.
And late comebacks again, the hallmark of your side this season. Of course, it's about mentality and not giving up, but are there other keys to these late comebacks that you're seeing?
Not really. I think it's mostly that. I think you've got to just not get too bogged down with the scoreline, although we know that you've got to take it into consideration at a certain point, but it's about being in the moment, focusing on the thing you've got to do it to the best as you can, work on the body language, work on how you're acting on the pitch all the time, and then until that whistle goes, there's always a possibility, and that's how we try and think about it. Of course, we'd like to be ahead in the game and clear and winning ourselves. That's obviously the aim, but if you're not, you have to keep fighting.
And just on Everton, they've been struggling for form of late. Does that surprise you?
Well, I think they've had some issues with injuries, in fairness. So, and when you have that, it can be tough. They've not played for a while with different things. So I don't know how that is now. It's nothing we can control or do. So we have to focus on ourselves. Like I said, they won the game here, deservedly so, and with a better team. We didn't play anywhere near as well as we can. So our aim is to try to do well ourselves and play better and hopefully get a better result.
That's great. Thanks, Graham. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi there, Graham. Just a word on Jurgen Locadia. Is he back available to you now?
Yeah, he's been training. He was sort of knocked with some illness, so we've just been building him up. But he's trained again today, so he's getting there.
And is he someone you envisage being with the group for the rest of the season, and another attacking option for you?
Well, yeah, he is. I mean, like all the players that have been limited in game time, you've got to, when the window starts to get open, you start to look and think what's the best thing for him, for us, etc., etc. But Jurgen's been great since he's been back, training well, working for the team. So we're open-minded. We'll see.
In terms of the fixtures, another postponement today. Newcastle's trip to Southampton. In terms of consistency, transparency, clarity, is there enough for you at the moment around these games which are being called off?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's a tricky one. No one knows as soon as you sort of say COVID or injuries, you don't know whether it's how many COVID, how many injuries. We don't know. As I said before, I've got enough to worry about here in terms of the team, etc., etc. for me to bother about that. I think that's something for the Premier League, for the people that make those decisions to consider. I think you have to back that everyone's doing it with the best intentions, and then do your best yourself.
And I imagine you've got no idea in terms of your postponements when you might be able to rearrange those. That's something you can't really look at the moment.
I haven't heard anything, Johnny. No, so we're still waiting, but no, we're just focusing on Everton and recovering everybody from Chelsea and preparing for the game.
In terms of the squad, do you see it as, I know rotation is key, and a lot of people, particularly some of the managers, Thomas Tuchel was talking about the lack of options. Are you happy with your options, and you're quite happy to rotate your squad in the coming period? Yes,
yeah. I mean, I think it's well. We've talked about it a lot. The schedule is what it is. We have no complaints. You know what it is over this period of time. Everyone knows, so it's just something that you have to deal with and adapt to. I think everyone's everyone's got their own issues. We're the same. We've had the same. So, but the squad is in a good place. We want to play. We want to play football. Had a good week, like I said. Come through a tough period, but 2 good games against Brentford's a tricky game, tough game, and then Chelsea's strong performance, a good point. So we're looking forward to the game and happy with where things are at the moment.
And in terms of Everton, no Calvert-Lewin, no Richarlison, no Gray recently. What threats do they pose without them?
Well, I think you probably see a few of them coming back, to be honest. They haven't played for a while. I know they were depleted in the last time they've played, but it's been a couple of weeks since they've played, so I imagine they've had time to get those guys back. We'll see, obviously. I don't know. But they're a well-organised side. Rafa Benitez is a top coach, and they've got some really good players throughout the team. So they'll whoever they play, are good as some part. There's a demand on them to be the favourites in the game against us, of course, and we have to try and do our best.
Just finally, on young Evan Ferguson, what's his experience been like being with the first team squad, and what have you seen from him in training and on his way and from matches so far?
It's great for him. I mean, he's a young guy, but he's got a big future, I think. Really impressed with him in training. Really good movement. You can see his quality, his goals. They're not by accident, that's for sure. So he knows where to be in the box. He knows where to be around the defenders. And the more he's with us, the better he'll get, I think. The guys have done a fantastic job with him in the academy, and now he's just in that next stage. We need to take it at the right pace for him. But obviously, when he's in the first team, it's good experience for him.